You've been saving for 5 years. You skipped the vacations. You drove the old car. You did everything right. Finally, you find it. The perfect starter home. 3 bedrooms, a small yard in a good school district. It's listed for $350,000. You stretch your budget and offer $360,000. You write a personal letter to the seller telling them how much you love the house. You wait by the phone, heart pounding, praying they accept. An hour later, your agent calls, and her voice is flat. "I'm sorry," she says. "We lost." You ask, "Did someone bid higher?" "Not exactly," she says. "Someone offered $350,000, the asking price, but they paid in all cash. No inspection, no contingencies. They closed in 3 days." You sit there, confused. Who has $350,000 in cash lying around to drop on a random Tuesday? Another family? A rich uncle? No, you didn't lose that house to a person. You lost it to an algorithm. You lost it to a spreadsheet managed by a corporation thousands of miles away. This is happening in every major city in America right now. You are no longer competing with your neighbors. You are competing with Wall Street. You are competing with hedge funds, private equity firms, and pension funds managing trillions of dollars. They aren't buying houses to live in. They are buying them to rent back to you. And their goal is terrifyingly simple: to turn the American dream of homeownership into a lifetime subscription service. Welcome to the era of the Wall Street landlord. Chapter 1. The Invisible Bidder. Let's back up, because to understand how we got here, we have to stop looking at housing as homes and start seeing them the way Wall Street does, as an asset class. For decades, single-family homes were the one asset class that institutional investors wouldn't touch. It was too messy. Buying 10,000 houses meant fixing 10,000 leaky faucets and mowing 10,000 lawns. It wasn't scalable. It was efficient to buy an apartment building. It was a nightmare to buy a neighborhood. But then 2 things happened that changed history. First, technology solved the management problem. Smart locks, digital payments, and AI-driven maintenance requests made it possible to manage 50,000 homes from a laptop in New York City. Second, the 2008 financial crisis. While millions of Americans were losing their homes to foreclosure, Wall Street saw the sale of the century. Private equity giants like Blackstone didn't see tragedy. They saw inventory. They went on a shopping spree, buying distressed homes for pennies on the dollar, thousands of them a week. They created subsidiary companies. You might know their names: Invitation Homes, American Homes for Rent, Tricon Residential. By the time the dust settled, they owned tens of thousands of properties, and they didn't flip them. They held them. They realized that if you control enough of the supply, you don't just control the price of the house, you control the price of the rent. Chapter 2. The Vacuum Cleaner Strategy. Today, this has evolved into a machine, a literal vacuum cleaner for real estate. If you think I'm exaggerating, look at the data. In Atlanta, Georgia, during the peak of the pandemic buying frenzy, institutional investors purchased nearly 33% of all homes sold, 1 out of every 3 houses. In Phoenix, Arizona, similar numbers. Charlotte, North Carolina, same story. They aren't buying random mansions in the hills. They are targeting a very specific type of house, the starter home. They want the 3-bedroom, 2-bath house priced below the median. Exactly the kind of house you are trying to buy. Exactly the kind of house a young family needs to build wealth. And their advantage is unfair. While you're busy scheduling a tour, their algorithm has already analyzed the neighborhood's crime rate, school rating, potential rent yield, and appreciation forecast. While you are waiting for your bank to approve your mortgage pre-qualification, they are wiring the cash instantly. I want you to visualize a street in a suburb of Dallas. On one side, you have a young couple trying to buy their first home. On the other side, you have a $1 trillion fund. It is not a fair fight. It is a slaughter. By sucking up the supply of starter homes, they force prices up. When prices go up, fewer people can afford to buy. And when fewer people can buy, what must they do? They must rent. And who do they rent from? The very same companies that outbid them. It is a perfect, vicious circle. But that was just phase 1. Phase 2 is what should truly scare you. Chapter 3. The Build-to-Rent Revolution. Wall Street ran into a problem recently. There weren't enough old houses left to buy. The inventory ran dry. So they decided to stop buying and start building. This is the rise of Build-to-Rent, or BTR. Drive through the outskirts of Phoenix or Houston today, and you will see something strange. You will see brand new subdivisions being built, beautiful paved roads, manicured lawns, community pools, playgrounds. It looks like the quintessential American suburb. But if you walk into the leasing office and say, "I'd like to buy that house on the corner," they will laugh at you. None of these homes are for sale, they'll say. These are for rent only. Entire communities, hundreds of homes, built for the sole purpose of being a permanent rental portfolio. Why does Wall Street love this model? Because it offers stickiness. When you rent an apartment, you might move out in a year. It's transient. But when you rent a house, you enroll your kids in the local school. You make friends with the neighbors. You buy furniture that fits the living room. You put down roots. And once you have roots, you are much less likely to leave, even when they raise the rent. And they will raise the rent. In this model, you pay the mortgage, you pay the property taxes, you pay for the insurance through your rent, but you get 0% of the equity. You are paying off their asset. You are building their wealth month by month, year by year, while your own net worth stays flat. Chapter 4. Neo-feudalism. We need to call this what it is. This isn't just a market shift. This is a return to feudalism. Think back to history class. In the feudal system, the lords owned the land. The serfs worked the land and lived on it. The serfs paid the lords for the privilege of existing there. The serfs could never own the land. They could never stop paying. They were trapped in a cycle of dependency. For the last 70 years, America tried to break that cycle. The American dream was specifically about breaking feudalism. It was the idea that an average worker could own a piece of their country. Owning a home is the primary way the middle class builds wealth in America. It is a forced savings account. It is a hedge against inflation. It is the nest egg you pass to your children. If you take that away, what is left? We are moving toward a rentership society. You see it in the headlines. You will own nothing and be happy. But let's correct that sentence. You will own nothing and they will be happy. Because when you own nothing, you are vulnerable. If your landlord is a mom-and-pop owner, you can talk to them. You can negotiate. When your landlord is a corporation traded on the New York Stock Exchange, you are just a line item on a spreadsheet. If their algorithm says rents in your zip code should go up 20% this year to meet quarterly earnings targets, your rent goes up 20%. Period. There is no negotiation with a shareholder report. Chapter 5. The Wealth Transfer. Let's look at the long-term math. If you buy a home at 30 years old, by the time you are 60, your biggest expense, housing, disappears. You enter retirement with a paid-off asset and low living costs. That is security. If you rent from a Wall Street landlord, at age 60, your housing cost is likely higher than it ever has been in your life, adjusted for inflation. You enter retirement with a monthly bill that never ends. This creates a massive wealth gap. We are witnessing the largest transfer of wealth from the working class to the capital class in modern history. Every rent check you write is wealth leaving your family tree and entering theirs. And the most dangerous part? It's invisible. You don't see BlackRock painted on the front door. You see a generic property management name. You don't see the algorithm raising the price. You just see market rates. They have sanitized the process of monopolizing shelter. Chapter 6. The Verdict. So, is the American dream dead? It's on life support. But here is the truth they don't want you to realize. Housing is not like Bitcoin. It's not like stocks. It is a human necessity. You cannot opt out of shelter. When a necessity becomes a speculative asset for the ultra-wealthy, society becomes unstable. We are at a tipping point. If we allow single-family neighborhoods to become corporate bond portfolios, we are accepting a future where the middle class ceases to exist as property owners. So, what can be done? Change creates resistance. We are starting to see neighborhoods fighting back. We are seeing homeowners associations passing rules that ban corporate ownership. We are seeing bills proposed in Congress to limit the number of homes a single entity can own. But these are just small sparks. The most important thing you can do right now is to understand who you are fighting. Don't let the glossy brochures of hassle-free rental living fool you. Don't let the lower monthly payment of a rental trap you. If you are in a position to buy, understand that you are making a revolutionary act. You are reclaiming a piece of the map. And if you are not, spread the word. Share this information, because the first step to breaking a trap is knowing that the trap exists. This isn't just about real estate. It's about who owns the future of this country, the families who live in it or the funds that trade it. The choice is slipping away, but it's not gone yet. Wake up.